Happy holidays, everyone. Continuing with our special holiday project. I feel like, well, today as I sit down, I feel like this is a little bit like an advent calendar where you discover some new surprise every day, only this is not Advent anymore. We could call it a Christmas moving up to New Year's calendar, because I know that it's going to be always on my mind, but I have no idea the artist. My screens are blank here, and I just sat down, and I won't know until I wake up the screen. Let's do that now. Elvis Presley with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Ooh, this is sounds different, fun. This time, instead of being country, it's kind of classed as symphonic pop. Elvis Presley recorded Always on My Mind on March 29, 1972, a few weeks after his February separation from his wife Priscilla. It is considered one of Presley's standout songs of the 1970s. The song is released as the B-side of the Separate Ways single, which was certified gold by the Recording Industry of America, Association of America, for sales in excess of 1 million units. Well, let's see how Presley handles this one.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often
Sweeping
as I
strings.
could have. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm so sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died.
Energy here.
Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied.
You know, as I'm listening to him singing this and thinking about the timing of it, a couple of weeks after his divorce, I mean, it puts an extra bit of heartbreak. It adds some pathos to the song, because, well, as I said, on Christmas Day, when I listened to the Willie Nelson version, I was thinking about it more in terms of the broader message which it carries, as well as the fact that reading through the lyrics, it could be sincerely sung in practically any stage of a relationship. Well, now, here, of course, it's placed after a separation, after a divorce. And the probably the regret and the sadness and the sense of loss and all of that and the whole going through divorce experience. I feel like there are moments when I hear him singing and I feel like I'm hearing his experience in this. And, well, I don't know enough about their whole breakup and divorce story to know how much of this really fits. But at the same time, I can't help but feel that in the singing here. And when he gets to the line, "You are always on my mind. You are always on my mind. I guess I never told you. I'm so happy that you're mine." All of these different parts. It feels very personal to him and to his experience.
Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied.
I feel like the orchestration, the symphonic treatment of this
Little
is
things
well handled.
I should have said and done. I just never took the time. You were always on my
The way it drives that
mind. You were always on my mind.
I wouldn't say that this is over dramatic. On Christmas Day, I was appreciating the simplicity and the very simple approach and handling of the song, and I appreciated that a lot. Now hearing this one, I feel like it also has its very own special treatment and quality. It's different. I don't feel like it's overdone. And that's why I say I really appreciate the way the symphonic orchestra is arranged and handled here, because it's not too much. It is a much more passionate expression, a more passionate delivery of the music, which fits the, as I said, we could say biographical context in his life as well. But the energy and the passionate expression is not foreign to the lyrics. It suits the lyrics. These lyrics, this song can fit so many different stages of one's life, so many different circumstances, so many different applications. And so it's no wonder to me that it has been treated by so many different artists, so many different ways, so many different times. And I am very much enjoying this Presley treatment of it, with the orchestra and the richness, the coloration, the strings, and even the drums are well placed, so that it feels good. It feels like it could be an expression of my own emotions. And I guess that's the goal, isn't it? Is for an artist to be able to convey their own emotions in a way that the audience can relate to. And I feel like the music is expressing things in a way that I could adopt as my own.
You were always on my mind.
Save that for the last.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you. I'm so happy.
That's interesting. Hold on, let's go back and hear that. I want to check something out here.
You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't treat you
This is from verse 1.
quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you
And this is from,
quite as often as I could have.
hold on. So, that's a nice way of doing a sort of coda. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have, coming from one verse, and then from another verse, maybe I didn't, what did you say? Maybe I didn't.
Should have. Maybe I didn't love you
Maybe I didn't love you
quite as often as I
quite as
could
often as I
have.
should have. So pulling from different verses, one after the other, the same melody. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. It becomes a sort of tallying up of errors, one after the next. This one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and kind of a summarizing.
I could have. Maybe I didn't hold you
You see?
all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you.
Joining those two verses into just the same, that's a really effective way to close the piece, and then not actually concluding it. So we sing through the whole song. Nice, that's good. I enjoyed it. But this really caught me at the end here. What a great way to make it personal. And when you're handling a really well-known song, especially when it is so very much like a folk song, so very traditional in its format, unless you're going to completely remake it, it's hard to do something original that doesn't feel contrived. And this was a great way of doing it. So first of all, he mixed up the first verse, and then instead of going into the sort of refrain, he jumped straight to the next verse. And it just so happens that this line, da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum, right? It's the same for both lines of that verse, both of those phrases. So it becomes, instead of starting out, maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I should have, maybe I didn't treat you. Instead, he swapped it out. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I should have. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. The idea is that he's just going through all the list of things that he's realizing probably didn't do as well as he wanted to do, didn't do as much as was needed for him to do. And that is how it ends. And it's such an appropriate and well-chosen kind of add-on or twist to the straight boxed package of the verses and refrain as we probably, those of us who knew it, I didn't, but those of you who knew it, have memorized, have stuck in your mind. So I just want to hear that again.
You were always on my mind.
And here, I felt like this was the end. Such a great conclusion. But off we go. And
Maybe
now we're checking it out.
treat you
Maybe I didn't treat you.
quite as good as I should have.
And the next one on the list.
Maybe I
didn't love you
quite as often as I could have.
And the next one on the list.
Maybe
I didn't hold you.
All those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never
And it fades out as if he's continuing down the list. And as he fades out, we hear him moving on down the list of all his failings and mistakes and blunders and lacks that he's recognizing. I hope that as much as we are all human and we all fail those we love from time to time, I hope that this holiday season, we don't have to sit and go through a list of regrets. What a beautifully personalized performance of this piece of music this is. As I said, I feel like I hear in his voice and in his delivery his own experience. And then the way it ended there, such a great way of wrapping it up, especially considering the context, but also, again, taking this song, making it personal, and delivering it in a way that so many of us can relate to. I'm sure we've all had moments in our life where all we could think of was the long list of regrets and failings that were ours. But it's also good to remember that as long as we're breathing, there's time to pick up and move on again. And as I tell my students, your failings are your best lessons that you will remember the most. So remember them, but don't live there. And this is a beautiful way of doing that for each of us, because the music helps us move beyond. It helps us feel and be honest about where we are and our failings and our regrets. But it also gives such beauty, and there are moments of buoyancy and hope and even hints of joyfulness in the music. The way in which the music says there is a future beyond this. So get up and go find that future and live it well. Another great selection and interpretation of this song. I am looking forward to what comes next. It'll be another mystery for me, and I'll see you then.